Hey, how you guys doing tonight? So I'm gonna do your reading. The energy is interchangeable. We both have all masculine and feminine energy within us. Trying to get it together. Yeah, take what resonates, leave what doesn't resonate, and I'm gonna start the reading now before I get sidetracked. Alright. Tripeando, what's poppin'? Hopefully things are a little more settled. Alright, so right now there is something that if you're if you've been constantly arguing or you've been constantly trying to prove a point or trying to get something through somebody else's head, you need to kind of step back and look at it. Damn, man, I'm sorry. You gotta step back and look at this, okay? Because sometimes when you feel like if you let somebody else just believe whatever the hell they want, it might be easier, you know? Because sometimes fighting and you're not getting anywhere and your point isn't getting across. Hi, Brittany. Well, that's awesome. I need friends. I have very little in my life. So if you're constantly going back and forth with someone, understand, that's not going to help you resolve the issue. Because if you feel you're right and they feel they're right, you're just going to keep bumping heads. So at some point, something's got to give. So it's like, hey, can we compromise? Or you know what? You're right. You got it. Even though you know they're wrong, just say, fuck it. You got it. Okay? Because all that does is cause a lot of stress, and nobody wants to be stressed out, but at the same time, you're not going to find a solution that you're looking for, okay? And sometimes when you give people that space to feel like they're right or like they won something, they're a little bit more cooperative with what you want, okay? So they want you to stay in the present moment, and staying in the moment, the more you practice doing that and just kind of being fully present, the less you have mind chatter going on, okay? Libra's coming out here. So there is a transformation that's going to come out of the situation, but it's probably going to be once you release the need to be right about whatever's happening or prove your point. Okay, you have to release that because they're showing there is a completion. So whatever needed to be learned in this situation has been learned. Okay, and if it hasn't ended yet, then it's going to come to an end because they're showing that the transformation is coming. So again, they're showing synchronicities in nature. So some of you may really be seeing some type of animal consistently or something when you're outside. Whether it's the same bird, freaking beavers, gophers, whatever. Oh, Brittany, that's awesome. I'm a Libra too. That's probably why you like me. Libras tend to click. So if you've been seeing things in nature, that's what they're showing, is like you're seeing something outside they're giving you signs with, okay? And they're showing that a new beginning is coming. And again, I know last time I said it was around a new moon, so I think it's the new moon now. Well, coming up. So this is also, again, the new moon that this is going to be happening. So there is going to be a new beginning. But for some of you, whatever it is you were hoping for or you're planning for, that may not be the thing that's going to end up coming to fruition. Okay, so don't look at it as a bad thing because it might be something better that's going to come after this. So if you're in a situation right now where you're like not sure if it was going to manifest into anything or you're just kind of debating on it, they're saying whatever situation you're currently in is not going to manifest into anything. But there's going to be a new beginning, and something after that is going to give you something better, okay? So don't feel like, oh, I'm losing or I lost something, because they're saying something better is going to come if this situation, nothing comes out of this, okay? And again, bring love into the situation. I say this a lot because we all tend to get in our feelings and, act like assholes sometimes. So try to just remember to be nice and have compassion towards other people and try to treat people as if they were you in the situation. That's what I tell my kids, just treat people like they're you. Because if you do that, then you have a little bit more compassion and you're a little bit nicer because you want to be treated the same way. All right, Aquarius is coming out. So understand any obstacles that you're going through right now, they're all lessons. I say this over and over again. Don't look at it as it was something that was done to you to hurt you deliberately. It's really just, how else were you going to learn this lesson? You know, that's really how you have to look at it, you know, because sometimes even when we were in school, you think about how when you was in school, how hard-headed you was, or which way worked best for you to learn something. You know, we all learn differently, and sadly, some of us learn through pain and difficulties. So just try to see the best way for you to learn this lesson, and it might be easier to understand and appreciate what you're going through now, okay? Because they're showing right now what you're going through. It's helping you to distinguish the difference between love and fear and truth and illusion. Because sometimes in our minds we'll envision something, or we hope something's going to come to fruition that may not be factual. And when we move out of fear versus love, you know, maybe this situation's helping you to distinguish between these things. You know, maybe you met somebody new and you're just like, I really like them. Will this go anywhere? And maybe it won't go anywhere, but at least you're able to see through that now. You're able to see, you know what, this really isn't going anywhere because there's a repeating pattern. There's something that keeps coming back up. And these are tests. When these things present themselves, it's a test to be like, are you still stupid? And you say, no, I learned my lesson. I'm not stupid anymore. I'm going to move forward now. So that's really what it is. And that's probably why nothing's going to come out of it, because it's just to see if you've actually learned the lesson and you're ready to move on to the next level. Okay. And also learning to move out of love instead of fear. Because when we move out of fear, we don't move. We stay stuck. It's fucked up, but it's true. You know, you think about how afraid you are to do something. People are afraid to quit their jobs. People are afraid to leave the place that they grew up in. You know, people are afraid to drive. Like, these things, when you move out of fear, you don't move. You stay stuck and you go in the same patterns and the same cycles over and over again. You got to move from love and have faith that everything's going to work out. Even if you don't know what the fuck's going to happen, just be like, it's going to be better than this shit. You know, I already know what this is. You can always go back to what you know. That's always going to be there. Okay, take the risk. Try something different. Try something new, because it's a new chapter in your life. Why don't you want to try something else? And be grateful for all of the lessons that you learn. You know, I can't say this enough, because for those of you that have heard my crazy ass stories, you're probably like, how the fuck are you grateful for any of this shit? But I truly, truly do appreciate everything that I've been through in my life, you know, because I've learned so much, and it's made me a more understanding and more compassionate person. So really just look at everything you go through as a lesson, something that you've learned that you can share with others, okay? It's not all terrible, I promise. And you have to be patient with yourself. So don't feel like, you know, I've done all this work and I'm trying to hurry up and get here, but it's not working out and I'm not making progress and nothing's happening. Everything is step by step. You know, when we started school, shit, we started in fucking kindergarten and we had to fucking go all the way up to 12th grade. That took for fucking ever. For those of us that made it that far. You know, it's a process. You learn what you can at the right age, at the right time. Because if they gave you fucking 12th grade work in kindergarten, you're going to be like, yo, what the fuck is, you're going to be scribbling on the 12th grade work. So it's something like that, you know, just look at it as it's step by step. The more you learn, the higher your vibration gets, and the more you're willing to proceed forward, okay? And again, they're saying be willing to take the risk. So like I said, if you're a person that's been stuck, fucking leave. Take a vacation, travel, do something with your life that you have not done, okay? Because I've met so many people that have literally never been out of the city they were fucking born in. They've never left the state. Like, the shit, it boggles my mind. I'm like, how? I'm like, I've been every fucking where, and that's not enough. Like, I still want to leave. Hi, Micah, how are you? So just take the risk, okay? And if you're afraid, like, you know, something's going to happen, or you don't have enough for your family, Spirit's always with you and they're guiding you, okay? So you're going to have enough and everything's going to be okay. And if somebody's talking shit about you, let them talk shit. Let them talk all they fucking want, because clearly they are trying to avoid their own fucking lives, and that's why they're so wrapped up in your life, okay? Because if people actually worried about their own lives and making their lives better, they wouldn't have room to be talking shit about somebody else. And that's a whole fucking fact. Okay, but whoever this is, that's just, they're being very petty and very jealous, very envious of whatever the situation is, okay? And if this is a relationship kind of thing, this person is, I feel like they're jealous and begging. Like, they don't want this person to leave. Like, they want you to stay with them. They don't want you to go somewhere else, or they know that you're interested in somebody else and they don't want you to leave. So whatever it is, they're not facing the truth. Like, if the connection is over, they're refusing to acknowledge that it's over. They're not accepting it. So whatever it is, you know, sometimes if you already cut this person off, it looks like it was a family situation. And if you haven't cut this person off, this person is worried about you returning back to someone else to have a family with them, or go back to a family situation that you haven't been attached to, okay? So however that resonates for you, but somebody is in denial about it. They're not sure what's going to happen, and there's signs and lessons that, again, that's coming out. So this has been a lot of lessons that needed to be learned, okay? And sometimes you have to make those sacrifices, and making the sacrifices, well, I'm gonna have to get more details, tripeando. I don't know, we'll talk. So yeah, so some of, you know, they've been seeing signs, or you've been getting signs, however it is, but they know that something's happening. And whatever it is, again, these are lessons. These are things that needed to be learned. You need to see where you're meant to be at, and see what your values are, what your morals are, and see if they're same as what they used to be. Because as we get older and the more we learn, the more we change, and the more the things that used to be true for us are no longer true for us. You know, so just kind of revisit that and be like, you know what are my values now? What are my morals? You know, do I still live by the street code, or do I believe in what's best for me? You know, see where you're at on this scale of shit, okay? Because they're showing that lessons have been learned in this, and that's what's causing, it's bittersweet, because it looks, there's a destruction but also a transformation. And sometimes through the destruction comes transformation, which are our tower moments. And it doesn't always have to be an external one, it can be an internal one, okay? So however it's resonating for you, but when that happens, you know, that's when our transformation happens, sadly. Okay, and someone is not speaking, and again with the watching, and I say this every fucking day, I feel like, but they're very they're disconnected. So someone is just literally, they're just disconnected from life, and they're just observing. Okay, it's like almost an obsessive kind of energy, which is getting kind of creepy. So I don't like this energy. I don't like the way it feels, because it's like they're just watching and watching and watching and watching, and it's like they're obsessed with watching you, and they're not saying or doing anything, and they're searching for some type of information online about you, or something about you. I'm not sure, but they're looking for something. And please, I hope to God that nobody has the type of stalker that's actually passing by their fucking houses, because that's extremely creepy. But just be careful, okay? Just be careful with whatever's happening, because this person is really like, it's fucking creepy. Sorry. And if you're the person that's stalking and not saying shit, please say something. I don't give a fuck. Say something. Stop being fucking weird. So again, somebody feels like they have just been discarded, and maybe it is just because they see you going back to someone, or they're recognizing like they're not enough, or the situation that you're in isn't good, and they're realizing that it's going to end, okay? But it looks like someone's either going to be taking a trip soon, or trying to get away. And some of you might actually just be taking a break from work, which is necessary, and I highly recommend for everybody. And it looks like some of you might be on like a roller coaster of emotions, but it's sorry, excuse me. There's a karmic partner again here that's coming out. They have a fake profile. So I don't know if whoever you're dealing with, if you're dealing with somebody and they were in a relationship or still in a relationship, they have a fake profile and they're watching you, or they're trying to get information on you, and they seem very almost like erratic, like their feelings are like all over the place. Les, ¿cómo está? Hace tiempo que no te veo aquí. So yeah, because they're saying this person is very like filled with drama, like they want to cause chaos, they want to cause drama, and they're like obsessed. So they're either obsessed with the person that wants to come towards you, or they're obsessed with you, and that's why they're spying on you, which is fucked up in itself, because like I said, the fucking energy of this, it doesn't feel good. It feels like, you know, when someone's really erratic and they're like all over the place because they can't have what they want. That's how that feels, and I don't like it. I don't like that fucking energy. That's fucking creepy ass energy. And again, so this, for some of you, this may have started happening in spring, or it will happen this coming spring. Okay, so take it however it goes for you, because again, it could just be renewals that are coming about, and it's happening in divine timing, because there's someone stuck in fear and contemplation. You know, they're receiving the messages that they're getting from spirit, but they are afraid because they don't know what they're gonna get. Okay, and like I said, everything is divine timing. So this person might need the time if they're dealing with someone like that, because you don't know what type of person this is. And when someone's that emotional and erratic about what's going on, you don't know how they're gonna, if they're gonna come at you or if they're gonna try to do something to harm you. So this person is just probably taking precautions and being careful in how they approach you. So just please be careful. I can't even say that shit enough right now. So they want you to trust spirit, okay? They want you to always put spirit first. And when you put spirit first, they want you to know that whatever you're going into, to have faith. Don't be afraid of it just because you don't know what's on the other end. Because right now I'm seeing a rainbow, which is interesting because I don't normally see the rainbow in this card. So rainbows are awesome, okay? They're awesome omens. So everything's going to be good. Just have that faith, okay? Don't fall into the fear. Don't fall into that I'm going to keep myself stuck, okay? Because a balance needs to be attained. And once you find that balance, and maybe it's finding a balance with the family situation or leaving somebody to go to somebody else, however it is, you know, find the balance, but take a break in between, because nobody wants to feel like, hey, you left me for somebody else. Whether or not it's true, I don't fucking know, but just, you know, have some type of feeling. Be nice, because they're showing that you're going to be presented with an opportunity. And for some of you is, again, if there was something that you had now that you were like, well, is this going to get anywhere? The answer is no. They're saying it's not going to go anywhere. So if this just started, it's just leave it where it is. You know, there's something better coming around. And for some of you, it might be next year sometime that this happens, that you might get the relationship that you're looking for. All right. Now, let me see. Yeah. So they're saying to give some love and get some love, because it will cheer you up. And they say you have a good thing going. Don't ruin that shit. So whatever it is you have going on, you know, be loving, be understanding, be compassionate, you know, and just give your love. You know, we give out hate like nothing. We love to give out hate. Nobody gives out love. So when I tell people I love them, or, you know, I'm genuinely happy for them, they look at me like I'm crazy, because it's like, you can't love me. I'm like, why can't I love you? I have people that fucking hate me that never even spoke to me. So why can't I love somebody that I haven't met, you know? So just be easy on yourself, okay? Don't be hard on yourself. Take it easy, because you are you. We all make mistakes, we all grow, and we all learn from the same things, okay? So again, they're saying that you need to take a time out. So plan a vacation. If you haven't planned a trip somewhere, plan a fucking trip. I don't care where you go, just go by yourself, because you need the time alone, all right? And they said to meditate and retreat. And again, grounding is necessary. And if nature, when you're in nature, please, please, please take a notebook or something. Pay attention to what you see, all right? Because you need to connect with nature and see what you hear. Maybe you'll get messages, or you'll get random thoughts that you're just like, where did this thought come from? I haven't even thought about this, or it's just really weird for your normal thought process. Those are messages that are coming in. So write those down and be grateful for everything that happens, okay? Because the more grateful you are, like literally start your morning, even if it's just 10 things that you list that you're grateful for, you'd be surprised how much your perception changes, how much your outside world starts changing, okay? Just expect the best out of everything and be grateful. You know, even shit, you get to a point where your kid's screaming and having a tantrum, you're just laughing and you're just like, okay, this will be over soon, but you know, I appreciate it. It's taking a lot of energy out of them. You know, I don't really get mad at a lot of shit anymore. I just find it entertaining. But yeah, so there is abundance that's coming in. Just be careful of what you're projecting to other people, because, you know, sometimes we mirror other people, or we see ourselves in others, And we might project something and we might not mean it, or they might be projecting something because they're in a place of anger, pain, whatever it is. So just be careful, because silence gets you a long way. You know, I've had situations where it's like me wanting to flip the fuck out, but the higher me just saying, nope, just shut the fuck up. We're not going to talk today. We're not going to say shit about this, and we're going to keep on going about our day because we already know this is going to go really bad. And then somehow it works itself out. So sometimes it's better to not say shit. Believe me, it's hard for me sometimes because, you know, that side of me is always there. It's just waiting. But I'd be like, no, we're going to be better today. We're not going to act crazy. Okay? And when that happens, just have an understanding, you know. Because if someone doesn't think like you do, doesn't see things like you do, and you're aware of this, you know, when you're aware of these things, it's easier to just be like, I'm not entertaining this. You know what? You're in your feelings. You're acting crazy. You're acting like a child. You go ahead and deal with your feelings. You're not pulling me into your shit. And that's what they want. They want to pull you in because they're angry and they need to displace that energy. So if you don't give into it, be like, you got to deal with your shit because I'm not bothered and I'm minding my business. When you get it resolved, we can have a conversation. Okay? So again, the understanding of how your mind works is also happening right now because maybe you've had some patterns that you've kept repeating and you didn't realize you were repeating them until recently. And now you're able to look at situations or new situations that are presenting themselves and you're able to say, this is really familiar. You know what? And usually when this happens, this is what I do. And this is how I end up in these worst situations because I fall down this fucking rabbit hole. So now you're becoming aware of this and you're able to see past the bullshit. So if somebody's presenting you something that's like, oh yeah, this is that, you're able to see past the illusions that they're showing you. So you're becoming fully aware of yourself and how you think and how to avoid these traps, okay? So believe me, all of the lessons, all of the wisdom you've gained, they all serve a purpose because now you don't fall for the bullshit. Now you're like, maybe not. Try me at another time when you got your shit together, okay? And stand up for yourself and be who you are, okay? Let yourself be seen, let yourself be noticed, because they're saying that you are, what's the word? You're playing it small. Like, you're not presenting yourself. You're like hiding in the background, okay? And again, they're saying take a break. They said this 3 times. Plan a fucking vacation. Go stay at a hotel. I don't care where you go. Do something by yourself, okay? And do what you feel is right in your heart, regardless of if people agree or don't agree with you. Like I said, people are not, you can't please everybody. You can't, you know, I have fucking kids. It's fucking impossible. You know, I'd be making 3-4 different fucking meals in a day. It's terrible. You just can't please everybody. So expect people to be pissed off at you. Expect people not to like what the fuck you're doing. It's not their business, you know. When you make your decisions, you make your decisions for you because you are the person that has to live with those decisions. Not those people. They might not like them, but it's like, do you have to live with this person? Do you have to have sex with this person? No? Okay, I didn't think so. I thought I was the person doing this. So mind your fucking business. So, you know, however it is for you. Doesn't have to be that extreme, but however that is. Hi, Eddie. Oh, thank you. Aries and Cancer is coming out. So they want you to stop overthinking. Again, like I said, the obsessive thinking. I'm not sure who this is. And if this is still the karmic person that's still doing this, you know, it's not healthy for you. Try to see what your attachment is to this individual and what your fear is in letting this person go. Because the reality is neither one of you are happy in the situation. And you both know you're not happy in the situation, but there is a reason that you don't want to let this person go. And sometimes it's the codependency. Sometimes it's the financial dependency. You know, sometimes it's abandonment issues. It has something to do with your childhood. Whatever it was that traumatized you when you were younger, that is where all of this it stems from, okay? So try to see what it is and try to turn your mind off because you'd be surprised when you stop. Girl, I'm hopeful, you know, maybe something will click. So, you know, when you stop thinking so much, then answers come in. But as long as you're allowing your fucking mind to just have a free-for-all, it's going to have a free-for-all. Our minds are meant to help us. They're like a tool to help us, but they're not meant to guide us. Our hearts and our souls, our intuition is what's meant to guide us on this path. But a lot of us have allowed our minds to take over and guide us, as opposed to it being the other way around. So you have to get that in check. And since the mind's been rampant for a long ass time, it's going to take a little bit before you cut that shit down. Awesome. Well, there you go, Eddie. That's why. So hopefully this message gets better. So they want you to release the past. So if you've been holding on to a relationship, or you've been holding on to situations, old friendships, whatever it is that you've been holding on to that's not serving you, you have to let it go. All right. And I know it's hard sometimes, especially when we're attached to old programming, or, you know, we have our loyalties with our families and they're toxic as fuck. You have to release these things, because as long as you're holding on to the old programming, as long as you're not removing yourself from these old friendships, from toxic ass family members that are advising you against something that you feel will make you happy, but they're not in agreement with it. Again, it's not their life. It is your fucking life. You do what the fuck you want to do. You're not a kid anymore. You know, you don't need mommy and daddy to okay your fucking decisions. At least I don't think you do. I don't know. But most of y'all are grown and y'all have the right to make your own decisions. And for some of you, there's you need to move, or you need to let go of a place that you've been living at, and they want you to save money, because it's gonna happen. Some of you are moving. It might be from just one house to another, from one state to another state, but some of you are moving. So make sure you're not overspending, and you just have enough money saved to pay whatever deposits they're asking for. Okay, so if you've been debating on moving or not moving and you need a confirmation, fucking move. Okay. And we have, again, Cancer's coming out again in Pisces. So the new moon, a lot of this might be happening around the new moon. I've gotten the new moon a few times now, so this might be happening around the new moon for you. So you guys need to meditate and just kind of focus on what's happening. And if you guys have your emotions, like I said, they've been up and down. Whoever's emotions are really all over the place, you have to just quiet your mind and meditate. And if you can't meditate, take a walk in nature, you know. Take a walk on the beach, depending on where you're at. Just take a walk somewhere where there's no headphones, no music, no cell phones, no nothing to distract you, and just listen, because you will be able to at least hear what's happening in your head instead of just having all these thoughts. Because they're saying there is a solution that's coming for whatever it is that you're going through, okay? But it's going to take time, and you have to be able to quiet your mind to hear these messages coming through. And some of you are going to find freedom. I hate to say it like that, like you're just fucking coming out of a prison sentence, but you're going to find freedom by releasing any restrictions you've put on yourself, okay? Any perceptions, the limitations. Like I said, we grow up with these street codes, and we grow up with, I need to be loyal to this and I need to be loyal to that, because that's what somebody raised us with. You know, that's how we grew up. When you grow up in the hood and you're in the streets, you grow up with these false sense of loyalties that don't really exist, because at the end of the day, most of these fucking people, when they get caught up, they not going to prison. They right back on the streets the next day. Guess who's going to jail? Yo ass. So be clear about what the fuck you're doing, and make sure your loyalty lies with you. Okay. And I say this a lot, but I'm so serious. All right. Just be who you are. Trust yourself. Do what's best for you. And you cannot live your life to the fullest. You cannot fulfill your potential if you're trying to live under mommy's rules, daddy's rules, even your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever. If you are trying to please them, it is stopping you from living your best life and doing what's meant for you. Okay? Because if they're not happy within themselves, if they're not whole within themselves, or they're not confident enough in the relationship or within themselves to say, you know what, you live your life, you do what you do, and trust that you're going to respect them in the relationship, then you're not going to be able to live your life the way you're meant to live it, because you're always going to be afraid, like, I got to go fight, I got to go argue, and I got to deal with this shit when I get home if this happens. And sometimes that's why you just be like, I'm not going nowhere, I'm going to stay home to avoid the bullshit. I know, I've lived this shit. I just feel like it's easier to just stay home. I don't got time for the drama, you know, but at the same time, you have to fight for you. You know, you have to fight for what you really want. And as much as I'd be like, I don't want to fight, but I'm going to fight just to prove a point. We're going to fight tonight. You know, that's how it works out sometimes. So when you meet other people, try to recognize the good in them. Try to see what good qualities you guys have in common, because we gravitate towards people. Like I said, some people will reveal their shadow selves, and will be like, oh, I can identify with that to an extent. And then the people that bring out the best sides of us, we can identify with that. Okay, so just understand that when you're calm and peaceful, life goes a lot smoother, okay? So you don't always have to be in the mix of the bullshit and arguing and fighting, because that shit gets old and it's stressful, and it creates more chaos. You have chaos inside of you because you're in an environment where you're always fighting. So then the outside becomes more chaotic. And then you're like, why the fuck is my life always crazy? That's why. You have chaos at home, you have chaos outside. You get no break. You have no time for you to figure out what the fuck you need to do. And here we have, some of you are healers. Whoever this is, they're saying you have the powers to channel. Some of you might be able to, are mediums. Others of you might be able to heal with your hands. So whatever it is, you have the power to manifest your life. You can do this. They want you to understand you're very powerful at creating your reality, and you need to trust that. Okay? Because once you realize that you have that much power and you start seeing the things, it was, when I started, it was interesting. I'd be like, yo, little stupid shit. I'd be like, I started journaling every day. Like, I was journaling affirmations and just saying the same thing every day for like 20 minutes. And the more I did it, and it was manifesting a certain amount of money, and then something happened. Now, when you start manifesting shit, it might not happen in a way you're thinking it's going to happen. It might be some crazy shit that happens, but you get the money to come to you. But that's when you start noticing, when you start manifesting like that, you'll be like, oh shit, I can manifest whatever the fuck I want. I just need to change my process a little bit. So focus on the good, get a journal, write all this shit down. And the more you write it down, the better it is. Even vision boards for some of you, if it helps you to see it, because that's how you start manifesting things. Now here we have somebody, again, if this person is fucking here, they're keeping tabs, they're writing down things, they're doing something, and it's like they have receipts of whatever the fuck's going on, whatever. If you've been doing shit, you've been being sneaky, somebody's keeping track of this, somebody's watching you, okay? And for some of you, it might be a past situation or a past person, and it might have to do with pregnancy, something that you're emotionally attached to. Okay, whatever this is in your past, they're keeping tabs on this. So I'm not exactly sure what it is, but they're showing me somebody's keeping tabs, and it's like for proof. They need it for something. They're using it for something. So if this is something from your past that they're trying to understand, or they're trying to prove, or that you did or didn't do, just be careful, okay? And for others of you, if this is something that happened, maybe you're trying to get a paternity test to find out if a kid is yours. I don't know, but the things that come out, I don't have control over. So whatever this is, it's something that has some type of emotional attachment. But they're showing that there is, again, the lessons that needed to be completed are being completed. And someone is numbing right now. Like, they're not allowing themselves to feel what they need to feel. Damn, that card came out twice. So for those of you that have this void and feel like you're unlovable, that's not true, okay? It is something that you tell yourself, and it's things that we pick up from childhood that create our programming. It's things that we go through when we're kids that say, you know what, my father abandoned me, my father left me, I'm not loved, why can't I be loved, why did they reject me? And you take it and you internalize it as it's a you thing, and it's not a you thing. It is a them thing. It is something within them. Maybe it was the fear, maybe it was the responsibility, whatever it was, it is not a you thing, it is them, okay? So don't feel like you're not lovable. We're all love. We come from fucking love. It's just life fucks us up along the way, And if your parents were not as educated, did not heal themselves, they were unable to teach this to you, So it's not even, you can't even be mad at them, because they just were not aware. They didn't know. So it's like when you start having these understandings, it becomes easier for you to deal with life and just get a full comprehension and deal with your own shit and be like, you know what, let me fix this, let me heal this. There is a book that I read called Lovability. If you haven't read it, it's an awesome book that actually talks about how to love and the way you love. it's a good book. So if you haven't read it and you have these type of emotions, pick it up, read it. I don't know if they have an audio one. Okay, but whatever these lessons are, you know, the more you numb, the longer it's going to take for you to heal this shit. The only way you're going to heal this is by actually feeling it and going through it. And I'm sorry to say it, but it's true. You know, you have to do the ugly cries. You have to feel the pain. You have to go back to when you was that little kid and they broke your heart, but you was toughing it out like, it ain't bothering me. That shit bothered you. That shit hurt your feelings. Now, you can go in your room as an adult and cry it out and let it out, okay? Because some of you have become very ruthless due to whatever this situation is. And, you know, sometimes being ruthless, it keeps us alive, but it's not always the best way to deal with things, okay? So some of you have gotten very uncomfortable either in your situation or with who you are. And that's also not a good place to be, okay? Because there's some people that act very childish. And again, this is something that's happened to you when you were a child, that someone just treated you in these ways that made you into the person you are now. And it's none of this is true, because all children should be loved. So when you look at it as you can reparent yourself. And how would I have wanted to be loved? How would I have wanted to be treated in these situations? And it's not being told to shut the fuck up. It's not being told man the fuck up. It's acknowledge your feelings, feel your feelings, you know, get past your feelings, deal with your shit. And like I said, a lot of people don't know this and they never dealt with it, okay? And this stems from childhood. So please, 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 I post a lot of shit on here about healing. Just try to listen to it at nighttime. Like, if you don't have time or you just don't want to do the shit, put the shit in your ears at nighttime and believe me, it'll work just the same. Now, there's someone here who maybe has been acting very childish, or someone who just wants more and more and more. You know, like when kids, they just can't get enough of something. They want more, but they're not saying anything. They're not speaking. And for some of you, that you're being protected from this individual or this type of energy. All right. Because they're showing whatever lessons needed to be learned in that situation, they have been learned. And if this involves a twin flame situation, which, well, it's not if. It fucking involves a twin flame situation. And those of you that don't know what the twin flame is, it is literally someone that mirrors you. But it's a person that when you guys come into contact, it forces you guys to become your higher selves. It shows you all of the deep, ugly pains that you have inside of you. And they might do some fucked up shit to you. You might do some fucked up shit to them. But ultimately, that is what triggers you to want to heal and become a better person, because underneath all of the pain that they may have caused you, you have this unconditional love for each other, which at some point you'll get back together after the lessons are learned. But that's when that's when your twin flame journey begins, is when you come across each other and you just have this trigger and you just like, I love this person so much, but I fucking hate their guts at the same time, because they're showing you all the ugly parts of you. You have to heal those things in order to have that relationship, okay? Now, again, for those of you that are being protected now, there is a family situation that is involving, you might be going to court for child support, alimony, depending on if you were married, going through a divorce or whatever. But this person feels they're stuck, like they feel weighed down due to this family situation. And this might be happening between now and the next few months, that this situation might present itself to you if it hasn't already. But someone feels really stuck and they're like settling with a karmic partner. So they're not moving from this situation because they feel like a victim and they feel like they just can't go anywhere and they're stuck with this person. Okay, but their spirit's trying to guide them out of this situation because they know that unconditional love is there. So this person is at his crossroads. So if they, like I said, if that toxic ass energy, that's what they're dealing with, give them the time to resolve that shit, because you don't want that shit going over into your relationship. But if you guys haven't been in communication with this person, they're going to be communicating with you soon. And like I said, this is a love that's unconditional. It will be like no other thing you've ever experienced or ever felt. And you will know the difference. Believe me, you will know the fucking difference. So with action's going to be taken. But again, please let the fucking first situation resolve itself, because that seems very toxic. And yeah, they want you to allow the situation to rest, let it breathe, and make sure you're setting your intentions. And when I say set your intentions, just because you can't see what's happening or you feel like there's no movement right now, There is. It's just going very slow, you know, with the fucking, what is it? The hare and the tortoise, you know, slow and steady wins the race. It's something like that, you know. If you rush it, it's going to fall apart. So allow this person to heal the shit they need to heal. Allow that situation to dissolve itself so it's not as toxic. And make sure you're keeping your intention. If this is something that you really want and you're saying, this is my person, keep your intention on that person. If it takes a year, you know, maybe next year you'll have that relationship. And right now they need to heal this. Allow that time, because when you get it, it's going to be good. It's going to be smooth sailing. But if you try to rush it and they're not healed, then they're still going to be projecting wounds onto you, and you don't want that shit. It's going to be fucked up. So they want you to allow this to breathe. And we have 22222 if you've been seeing those numbers. So again, they're saying to stay positive, that the situation is going to get better. So don't worry, okay? Like I tell you guys all the time, don't be stressed out. Don't be in your heads. Don't be like, oh my God, well, what if this happens and they're doing this and it falls to shit? Why would you want to worry about any of that? You can't change it. The reality is whatever is going to happen is going to happen. You can't fix it. You can't change it. It's inevitable. So deal with it when it happens. You know, there's no point of saying, oh, what if everything falls apart? Because if you spend a month being stressed the fuck out and everything goes good, you just spent the last month driving yourself fucking crazy. For what? For absolutely nothing. As opposed to just like, you know what, when it's here in my face, then I'll deal with it, because that's my thing. They'd be like, oh, I'm like, nope, I don't want to know nothing. I was like, is it here? Is it a right now problem? Because if it's not a right now problem, I don't want to fucking deal with the shit. Like, come to me later when I have to absolutely deal with it, because you're not going to have me stressed out. You're not going to have me going fucking crazy. We're not doing that. I ain't got the fucking time or the energy. But again, if you're like that person that's like a control freak and have to know how everything's going to happen, when it's going to happen, you can't do that, because everything's happening in divine timing. You have to allow things to happen, okay? You can't keep trying to control it and coerce it into how you want it to go down, okay? So they want you to just go hang out, go relax, go have fun, go meet people. And again, the fucking trip. Take the trip, okay? Whoever this is, fucking take the trip. And if you owe somebody an apology and you fucked up, please apologize. You know, be accountable for your actions. And I know that's hard, because the way I grew up, there was no I'm sorries. The fuck, it was like, you'll be all right, you'll get over it. There was no sorries, you know. So it's like, that's something I had to learn growing up, is I had to learn to be accountable for my actions. I had to take responsibility. Like, you know what, I did do this, and I apologize that it hurt you or it made you feel this way. That wasn't my intention, or maybe it was. I don't know. I was twisted. So it really just depends, you know. But take accountability, because when you're able to show compassion, things start changing. But you also have to be compassionate with yourself, and you have to forgive yourself for the shit that you've done, okay? You can't hold on to it, because that person might have already let the shit go, and you're beating yourself up because you fucked up. You did this, you did that. Okay, you did it. Can you go back and change it? So why? It's now a fucking memory. It's okay, it happened. The only thing you can do is take accountability and change your actions. Do better. Do not repeat the patterns. Break the patterns. Say, you know what, I fucked up. I hurt this person. I really love them. I'm going to do better. You know, I'm going to say I'm sorry. I'm going to say what I need to say. Speak truth. Be authentically you and speak truth. Don't lie. Don't sugarcoat shit. Don't sweep shit under the rug. Speak your fucking truth and be honest with whatever's going on, because the more you try to hide shit, the more you try to cover it up, the worse it's going to get. Just when you're honest and you're just like, it's going to hurt your feelings, but I hope you can handle the truth and see what the fuck happens. You know, if it's meant for you, then it's going to be for you. If it's not meant for you, then it's not for you. Accept that, because the more you hold on to shit that don't belong to you, or that you just, I want this, I want this, I want this, there's something that's perfect for you just waiting right there to come in, but you're stuck holding on to this shit. You know, it's like, hey, I have a pile of shit in my hands, but I don't want to let it go because it's my pile of shit. And you're trying to get gold over here, and they're like, hey, we're trying to give you this gold, release this pile of shit, and you're just stuck over here like, no, but this is mine, I've had it for so long, blah blah blah, whatever the fuck. No, drop the shit, leave a space so that you can get the blessings that's meant for you, okay? Because that's where the issue is. You have to see yourself and other people and bring balance to the situation. And again, patience is coming out again. Be patient, okay? Just be fucking patient, because I promise you, what's meant for you is what's coming to you. but you have to let go of what is not for you. And you know what's not for you? Look at how you feel, okay? If you go out away for a day or two, whatever, and you're relaxed and chilled and happy, you come back home. Are you anxious? Are you pissed off? Are you ready to fuck somebody up? Like, see where you're at, because if that's what your home life is like, that's not the place for you. As opposed to you're gone and you come home and you're just like, oh, I missed you and I'm so happy to be back, and you feel happy and you're enjoying that, then that's a good situation for you. And that's with any fucking person. That's with any situation. See how you feel internally when you're dealing with all of these things, because we like to ignore it, or we smoke or we drink because that's going to help us to escape. See how you truly feel about this, okay? Because then you'll be able to take appropriate action and make appropriate decisions. If you're smoking and drinking and numbing, you can't do that. I know. So again, they're saying that if this is a person that's coming back to you from the past, it's going to be a renewed situation and it's going to be successful, okay? And it's going to be to the point where it's going to be so great that you're not going to be afraid of opening your heart and sharing your heart with this individual, okay? You've reached that point of understanding and that level of maturity that you're no longer holding on to things, and you're no longer comparing what this is to that, or how this should be, how that should be. You're not holding on to this, and you're releasing beliefs, old programming that you had, that things needed to be a certain way, or if it wasn't this way, or if this person did this and they hurt you, you couldn't forgive them. However this is, you're releasing these things now, okay? And you're going to be able to love fully, and it's going to be reciprocated. So make sure that you're just allowing things and you're healing. And, work on you while this is happening. Do what you need to do for you, okay? And some of you might need to change some things about yourself, maybe your mannerisms, like I said, maybe some of your beliefs. If you're that person that came from the hood and you have those street beliefs, we all have those street codes we live by, you might need to reevaluate, and see what's really important to you and what really matters to you, because the streets do not love you. It's a true fact. They don't love you, all right? Your family loves you. The person that busts their ass for you loves you. The person that's there for you every day loves you. So see what's really important for you, okay? And they want you to be quiet and pay attention. Sometimes just watching and observing people, you learn a lot more about a situation or a person than you will ever do by having a conversation with them. And I know this because that's one of my things. When I meet people, I don't talk. I watch. I watch everybody. I watch how everyone interacts. I watch everything. And then I process all of it. And after a few times, then I'll open up to people and I talk to people. But it's important, because when you do this, you give yourself time to see how you feel about specific people. You see how people really are and how they function, because you'd be like, I just met you and you talking shit about somebody you knew for 10 years. Like, me and you can't be friends because I can't trust you, shit like that. So see how it resonates for you and just pay attention, okay? You really have to pay attention. And if you feel like you've reached the end of your rope and you don't have any more strength and you can't go any fucking further, your spirits, your ancestors, they are with you. All you have to do is call them in, okay? Because you have a fucking army of ancestors that are just waiting for you to say, hey, can you help me? Can you guide me? Can you, protection. I do fucking guidance, protection. I do this every day. I call them in to help me on my journey, on my path. So start that communication with your ancestors, okay? It could just be prayer, however it is for you. But do that, call them in so that they can help you on this journey, because when you're at your lowest, when you're at your weakest, that's when they want to step in and give you the strength that you need. They're going to give you that little bit of push that you need. Like, I can't make it another day. Like, nah, you're going to fucking make it. Get the fuck up. Okay? They're going to give that to you. So those are your messages for today. I hope they resonate with you, and I hope you get something out of it and it gives you some clarity and understanding of your situation. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being with me and watching, and I will be back on here tomorrow. Have a good night.